Hi folks, Tony Knight, dog listener here with the one, the original dog listener, Jan Fennell. And this is just a quick film because in one of my previous lives I actually worked as a volunteer for Victim Support. And Victim Support UK recently got in touch with you, Jan, regarding someone who needed some help. What was happening there?
Well, what had happened was she'd been badly attacked by a dog, so she'd been the victim of an attack. And she was just so unhappy around dogs. She didn't know what to do, she didn't know how to be around them, and it was just spoiling her life.
It was just scaring the idea of being around dogs.
Terrifying.
So what did you advise us to do?
Well, the first thing is, contrary to what anybody else says, I do not want her to become friends with dogs. I want her to create a situation where both can relax and not fear each other.
Yeah.
And you see, she said, well, I've been told I've got to go up to dogs that look friendly. And I said, yeah. I said,
that's a guarantee to get people bitten by dogs.
That's right, yeah. At worst, you know, you're going to get bitten, and at least you're going to upset the dog.
Yeah.
So what I talked to her about was being around dogs that she didn't know and treating them like any other stranger she did not know by just not looking at them, by not turning her back, but to keep them so she could see them but not make direct eye contact. That gave the dog a chance to step back and look at her and think, you are not a threat.
Yeah.
And she said, what do I do after that? I said, walk away, because result, you have been in that presence of that dog.
Yeah.
And if later on you think, I'd actually like to be with a dog, then I actually suggested you give us a ring and perhaps ask to meet up one of our dog listeners so she could be in the room with her dogs, with strange dogs.
Yeah.
And because, see, what people forget is a friendship is something that grows.
Yeah.
And so to begin with, you've got to minimise any danger.
Well, and also this woman's confidence needed to be given a boost. I mean, we were going to do this film anyway after the initial consultation. But stop press, folks. Yeah. We got a phone call yesterday from the lady in question, and it's good news already.
Yes, because she also had a friend whose dog used to jump up, typical hyperactive dog. And she said, what do I do with that? Because I'm now afraid of it. And I said, exactly this. You walk in, just don't look at the eyes, and talk to your friend, and even get your friend to hold the dog while it calms down. And she said she was actually directing what was going on and helping everybody else at the same time, and she was gaining her confidence. So that was really lovely.
Yeah, I mean, when I spoke to her on the phone yesterday, and she said, you know, to thank you because she was already feeling much more confident. Because, you know, just not looking at a dog shows the dog you're not a threat, and definitely not going up to the dog means you're not invading its personal space. And as I keep saying all the time on these clips, is if you don't go up to a dog, you are 99% less likely to be bitten by it. So for this woman, that little piece of advice was a huge thing and gave her the confidence to perhaps interact with dogs later on, but at her own pace.
That's right. She, as I said to her, it's gentle, and to avoid confrontation, to avoid just any interaction with dogs directly. That's what I want her to avoid, direct interaction until she is ready. And when she's done it 100 times, you know, just ignored dogs and they've left her alone, then she's going to think, oh, what would happen if I just looked, you know? And I have told her to give us a ring because, you know, we'd like to talk her through that. But it is, you know, the first thing people must learn is that dogs will be afraid, and if they're afraid, then
to defend themselves.
They've got no choice.
Exactly. Well, we'll give you an update when we hear from her next. So, Jan, thanks very much for that. And great piece of advice, not just for people who have been attacked by dogs, but everybody out there. See you later, dog lovers.